Welcome to Mallorca and welcome to the Best Centre. It's the 8th of April and on today's programme we've got a news roundup. It's a very busy time, as you know, for the national championships around Europe. So we're going to do our usual weekly roundup of all the swim news, and then after that we've got an interview with Italian double European gold medalist in the 4x200 freestyle relay, Olympian world short course champion Nicola Cassio. He's here, he's coaching the group from Geneva, and we get to hear the thoughts from Nicolas a little bit later in the programme. But first we're going to start with a news roundup. This is what you need to know.
We start our World Swimming Roundup in Australia with the news of the comeback swims of Grant Hackett. He'll be back at the World Championships 7 years after retiring. Hackett is a swimming legend. Double Olympic champion in the 1500 from Sydney 2000 and Athens 2004, Hackett narrowly missed becoming the first man ever to win the same event over 3 successive Olympics after finishing second in Beijing by just over half a second. Then he took 6 years off, and after 6 months back in training and at the age of 34, Hackett finished 4th in the 200 free in 1:46 to book his ticket to Kazan. His 400, where he came 3rd and therefore couldn't qualify, was also an amazing 3:46. But Hackett is a troubled soul, going into rehab in the US last year for an addiction to the effects of the insomnia drug Stilnox and the violent episode at his home in 2011. Perhaps his return to swimming will also help him calm his other demons. Cam McAvoy won the 100 free and leads the world rankings with a 48 flat, but the name to remember from Australia is Kyle Chalmers, who finished 4th in 48.6. Why? He's only 16 years old. The free relays are shaping up to be yet another humdinger of a race, with 4 Aussies and 4 Frenchmen on 48.6 or better. Add America and Russia to the mix and hello! Speaking of Frenchmen, Flo Manodou isn't one of those 4, but maybe he will be added in Kazan, and the big man dominated the 50 free in France, winning in 21.7. 29 swimmers from France made the cuts from the French trials and will be swimming in Kazan at the Worlds this summer. Meanwhile, the Canadian trials have finished. 24 swimmers made the cut there. They'll be led by their Olympic silver medalist and triple world medalist Ryan Cochrane, who has plenty of time to come down from his 15:01 in Toronto this week. Meanwhile, in the Netherlands, Femke Heemskerk is just getting better and better. A Dutch record 1:54.68 in the 200 free, a Dutch record in the 100 free 52.69, sees her top of the world rankings in both events. Also at the meet, a 59.9 in the 100 back by Sweden's fly and freestyler Sarah Sjöström. And FINA, the world governing body of swimming, are back in the headlines. They've been given until April the 15th, which is next Wednesday, to agree to a set of demands from the World Swimming Coaches Association. These include an independent audit of their finances, management and governance. If they do not agree, the World Swimming Coaches Association will set up their own governing body. There'll be more on this next week. And finally, there was a world record in Japan for the women's 1500 freestyle. Katie Ledecky needn't worry. It was Mieko Nagaoka who took an hour and a quarter to win the 100 to 104-year-old age group. The 100-year-old only took up the sport aged 80.
Well, welcome along Nicola Cassio, who is double European gold medal winner in the 4x200 freestyle relay for Italy, also world short course champion, Olympian. Nicola, when you start thinking about those victories, what are your thoughts from your time as a swimmer and the victories you've had?
Well, I had a really good time. Swimming in these relays, swimming in these competitions, swimming against so famous also swimmers and with so many famous swimmers also has been a dream and became true. Also going to the Olympic Games, that was a really big dream since I was little. But the real big thing is that when you're there, high level, and you compete, it's not much about success, but it's just having fun. That has been really my thing for a lot of time. For all the time I have swimming was just having a lot of fun.
And when it's not so much fun, if you're having difficulties in periods of time, how do you get through those times?
There are a lot of difficult periods, and especially when you train very hard and your goal is very far away, because sometimes you start training 3 years before Olympic Games, and it's a really long way to go, and it's very difficult to keep focus. I think the most important thing that I have been also have good luck was to have a good group, a really good group, a good team, and a good coach who understood that the group was very important, although it's individual sports. When you have bad times, you're injured, you're sick, you have a lot of trainings and maybe you're not so fast, or races don't go as they should go. If you have a good group that keeps high and positive attitude, it's way much easier.
And with you, you had the ultimate success, standing on the top of the rostrum, hearing the national anthem, gold medal. That must be a great feeling.
Yeah, great. But as I said before, I had really much more fun swimming in the relay, swimming while swimming, than after actually on the ceremony, on the podium, on the national anthem. Okay, it's really good things, but my really best memories are when I'm swimming.
Now you're coaching now, and you're coaching in Geneva with the group there, in the Piscine Vernet, which a lot of people would have been to. They may have competed there. How did you make the transition from swimmer to coach? And what are your thoughts, your kind of coaching philosophy with the groups that you have?
Well, yeah, I got on the other side of the bench. It has been an easy decision. I just felt that I wasn't done yet for swimming. My thoughts were that I could have given a lot more to this sport, and this is actually the reason why I'm coaching now. I think I could give a lot of things yet to the sports. I have a lot of things to learn, but what I want to bring is to also in the group in Geneva is especially my experiences, because we have a lot of coaches around the world that didn't live actually what I have really done with swimming and as a swimmer, and so I think that's a positive thing to bring and let the young ones know like what passes by when you're training, when you have hard times, when you're winning and when you're competing. So that's like a big part of the decision to become a coach.
And you said earlier that the international beat in January is something that you want to grow. Tell us about the future for this competition.
Yeah, this is the first year actually I saw it, because I never swam in the competition when I was a swimmer, and it's a really good competition. We have the luck to have a 50-meter pool, indoor, very nice, very fast, a slow down pool. It's in the center of Geneva. We have an airport just really close, and I think that in January especially to find good competition in long course, it's very difficult. So our goal for next year, that's the Olympic year, is to find a way to bring really high level swimmers to compete there, but not just for us but also for them, because I remember when I was swimming that January was hard to find a really competitive and good environmental competition.
So if you're looking for a meet, those watching this, January, Switzerland, Geneva, it's a beautiful place to go, and a great competition. You had a lot of fun when you were swimming. Give us one of your favourite training sets, either the most difficult set or a challenging set, or something you had a lot of fun doing.
Well, I had a lot of fun doing swim-offs. Actually, it was my specialty. I was very good when the coach said, okay, today we have a big set, but if someone swims under, was very hard times, but it's like 100, 200 free, go out, shoot, and go. That was my specialty, because I was not so good in trainings. I was like always the last one. If there was a chance to cut something, I was the one. So maybe that is not good than my swimmers here then. It's okay. So that was my really when there was swim offs, I was the best. But I remember also really hard trainings where all the group actually did very well and we supported each other, and that was really good trainings. I love to do 100 pace for the 200 and the 400s. That was pretty much my trainings.
In this kind of swim off situation or this race pace training, what kind of times are you aiming at in a training session?
Well, it depends a lot on the actual timing of the year, of the season. So if it's like start of the season or where we have a lot of Ks, where we swim a lot of Ks and you actually are not as fast, times will be a little bit higher, but usually not more higher than 5 to 10% more than the race pace or race time. So that's pretty tricky, pretty hard. But actually my coach has asked also always for 5-10% more, depending although like what time of the year we were in.
Okay. Now you've got the Italian trials coming up very soon. The Italians swam very well in Berlin at the European Championships 2 years ago. What can we expect from the Italian team at these trials and then again in Kazan later this year?
Well, I think we could expect something good. I think this is the year where you have to go fast, really fast. It's the year before the Olympic Games, so if we want to have a chance at the Olympic Games to do something really good, this is the year to go fast. There have been a good improvement of the Italian movement, so there are no longer there are still big stars like Pellegrini, Orsi, but there are also movement of young ones that are coming up. The level is really getting higher each year. That's a really good thing. I think we can expect some medals also, but most important when you speak about a team, so Italian team, is to have actually the most possible finals. That's a big goal. I think that's the thing to keep in mind, because it's very, let's say, easy to have a big talent that brings medals like Pellegrini, but it's very difficult to have a team of 30-40 people and have a big percentage of people go in the finals. That, I think, is the main goal. And then when you're in the final, well, you're there. You can play, you can have fun, and maybe you can have a medal.
Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it, and we look forward to enjoying the success of the Italians in their trials and then in Kazan later this year.
Thank you very much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the programme. Thank you for your company. We'll see you the same time, same place next week. Bye for now.